Hello everyone, I think we are live as I kick all of my chairs and stuff. Yeah, I think we're live. I guess I'll wait for people to start coming in now. Let me just go and promote the stream. Yeah, ignore the creaky chair in the background. Hopefully you can't hear it much. But if you can, then there's not much I can do. Let me just get on to the quiz that I was going to do today. Or the tier list that I was going to do today. I'm gonna see if I can get my comments up just on the side here. I'm not sure if I can. Let me have a look and see. I'm looking at my settings. Yeah, it seems I can't. That's a shame. I'll just have to get up the chat on my phone the old style way. Right, so let me get the stream up on my phone so I can see you guys' comments. No comments at the moment. But I'm guessing we will get some soon. Until then, I will just kind of wait, and we can, I guess. I don't know what we can do in the meantime. I don't have any ideas. But we can, as I say, I can probably do some F1 quizzes until we get people joining the chat. I want to see how bad this looks on the... Oh no, it doesn't look too bad. I'm just cycling for a quiz until I see what I actually want to do. Anyone but Jean-Eric Verne. So Formula 1 drivers who are FA, Formula 3, Formula E champion, PK, Buemi, Degrassi, and Verline. Okay, it's before Verline got into the sport, so I've got a buzz on my phone. Formula E champion. Nick De Vries. No, not him. Formula Renault 3.5 race winner. I think Daniel Ricciardo was. I think Pastor Maldonado was. I'm going to turn my volume up. He was. Magnussen was. I'm trying to think of just random drivers. Charles Pic. Oh my god, he was. Vitaly Petrov. No. Max Chilton. Jules Bianchi. Marcus Ericsson. Nope. British Formula 3 champion since 1980. Jonathan Palmer, I'm guessing, is one. Kenny Aitchison? No. Johnny Herbert. Martin Brundle. Mark Blundell. Derek Warwick. Ayrton Senna. I'm gonna see if we've got anyone in chat. Not yet. That's fine. We can work on that. Pierre Gasly for the ones. Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen. No. Esteban Ocon. I'm just guessing for some of these. Adam Carroll. Jan Mardenborough. No. I'm trying to think. Takuma Sato, yes. Roasted number 17 between 2000 and 2014. It'll be like your midfield stalwarts. So Hulkenberg, Sutil, Bottas, Senna, not Senna, Buemi, Alger Suari. Alger Suari was a good pick. He's in 3 of them. Bourdais, Davidson, Albers, Heidfeld might have been at some point. No. Massa, Fisichella, I'm going to try and do scored points of the 2013 Canadian Grand Prix. Rosberg, Vettel, Weber, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Alesi, Frentzen, Irvine, Herbert, Panis, Salo, there we go. McNish. So we're looking for like the 8th or 9th best team in the standings. There's people like Bertie, Bernoldi, Kobayashi, De La Rosa, Perez, Nakajima, Verts, I'm not sure. Coulthard, No, not Hakkinen. Villeneuve, maybe? Zont. I'm gonna see if we wait until everyone puts anything in the chat, but it's fine if not. Trulli, no. Teammates to Daniel Ricciardo. Liuzzi. We've already got Vern, Kvyat. Who was a teammate to? Oh, Karthikeyan. Norris. British Formula 3 champions again. Apicella. Martini. I'm not entirely sure. Andre Lotterer, did he ever win one? Kubica, that's a good one. Who else was around in Sauber at that time? Heidfeld. Oh, I've just accidentally gone full screen. I don't want to do that. There we go. Yeah, it hasn't actually gone away from full screen. There we go. Bernaldi. No. I think I've already done this stuff. And Chiesa. Wilson. Furman. Oh, Furman was a good one. I'm trying to think of lower tier British drivers from around the time, because then someone like Jenson Button, although he wasn't one. Barrichello. That was a good choice. So drivers around the late Olivier Guillard, maybe? No, about Nicola Larini. Ricardo Rosset. Ukyo Katayama. No. I genuinely don't know. Tommy Byrne, I instantly thought of him just as I was about to do it. Those are all drivers that I know and could have got. Ralph Schumacher. Stoffel Van Dorn was the other one, okay. I'll do more quizzes from this guy. I'm just waiting for people to actually start joining the stream. Maybe doing a surprise stream wasn't the best idea. Let's see what other quizzes this guy has. Please tell me he has a playlists. He does have playlists. Anyone but Formula 1. I got 4% on a Gaston Mazzacane one. Let's hope that I don't get more than I get 4%. Pointless in the 2000 season. John Lacey, Nick Heidfeld, Marc Genet, Johnny Herbert. Were there any more one-timers? Luciano Berti. Tarzo Marquez, did he race that year? He didn't, but he's part of the other categories. Next to Argentine driver with 10 plus starts. Okay, Carlos Reutemann. Fangio. Gonzalez. Mieres. Mendieta. Tegui, Marimon, Lowry? No. What about, is Colapinto? No. I'm trying to think of other Argentine drivers. There's one that begins with M, if I can think of him. Oh no, no, is it in alphabetical? It's not in alphabetical order. I think it's in time order, which is harder. I can't think of another one. Next one is DNF in the 2001 San Marino Grand Prix. Okay, let me just drivers from that season: Alonso, Raikkonen, Young, Schumacher, Barrichello, no, Coulthard, no, Hakkinen, no, Fisichella, Trulli, Button, Irvine, Villeneuve, Bertie, Bernaldi, Frenton, Verstappen, Heidfeld, Montoya. There we go. Teammates to John Lacey. So John Lacey drove for Tyrrell in 1989. No, he would have had. Who would he have? Who did he drive for in '89? Would it have been Jonathan Palmer? It was. Then 1991 he went to Ferrari, so he was teammates with Prost. Then he was teammates with Capelli in '92, but also Morbidelli towards the back end of '91. And then Larini at the back end of '92, then Gerhard Berger, then Larini again in '94, then who was his team? It was Berger again in '96 and '97, then Johnny Herbert in 1998. But who was before then? Wirtz, Alex Wirtz. Then in 1999 he was at Prost, so it would have been Panis. Who was his teammate at Prost in 1999? Diniz? Yes, it was. And Diniz was the other one. Raced in Champ Car. Oh, I've got no hope with this. Takagi. Moreno. Fittipaldi, I think, did. Or both of them. Andretti. Zanardi, D'Amato, Bourdais. So this is from '96 until 2007. Duero, did he? No, he didn't, but he did get. Oh, he's an Argentine driver more than 10 starts, though. Yeah, which maybe indicates that it's not in order of whatever. So that must be just like in order of starts. So that means that this other guy, didn't start very often at all. Yeah, I can't think of him. I can think of one starters like Miguel Angel Guerra and people like that, but I can't think of the other ones. There's people in the chat though, finally. Not the worst idea, Montoya. After you post so many W's in the F on Twitter, this is my first time watching your content. Thank you. You might recognise me as Twink Fingerer, okay, or Davi Jorge. Alonso begged some Underworld Lord for the 2006 Championship. By the way, these regulations are sad. I disagree. I think we've finally got some good overtakes. Glad to see people are finally in the chat. I was so enthralled with my quiz that I didn't realise. But I'm glad to see that so many people are in the chat. Who on earth? Oh, Sakon Yamamoto. Did he race in? Who raced in Champ Car and Kart? Scott Speed might have done. Champ Car and Kart, and also in Formula One, I'm guessing. Yeah. Can you name the Formula One drivers? Did Ricardo Rosset? Ukyo Kati, because the Japanese drivers seem to, and I don't know why. They always used to. Katayama didn't clearly. Did Aguri Suzuki or Toshio Suzuki do so? No, he didn't. So maybe I'm just wrong. Licalinarini, nice one. Norberto Fontana. That's who's the other guy is, isn't it? No, it's not. Never mind. The price of reading. Solid. Solid, not sad. Oh, I'm so used to people being negative about these regulations. I suppose I was so used to defending them. But I suppose, yeah, they are, I'd say, good for the sport. They are a lot better than people thought they were going to be, which is good. Does Vincenzo Sospiri count? He does. Shinji Nakano, he must have raced in. Yeah, he did race in kart. What about Stefan Sarazan? He did the 1999 Brazilian Grand Prix. No, it's not him though. Drivers who did kart and IndyCar. Did Johnny Herbert do it? I swear I remember him doing at least one race. Not remember him doing at least one race, but I think I've heard of him doing at least one race. Maybe not. Who was there around that time? I'm trying to think of watching, like, because it's annoying. The top guys were pretty much always either really, really obvious, or thinking. I'm guessing there's gonna be some guys who kind of dabbled in it. Antonio Pizzonia, Marc Genet, Luca Badoa, Pedro Lamy, David Brabham might have done. No, he didn't. Of course he didn't. Jean-Marc Gounod. Did Eddie? Oh, Eddie Irvine I already put. Have any Mexicans in F1 at the time? No, there wasn't. Were there any more Brazilians? Because the Brazilians always like to go to IndyCar and kart. Nigel. Oh no, Nigel. Was he? No, he was never in. He was never in kart past 1993. I've already put Zanardi. Andrea Norris leading the championship before Miami. I don't know what that means, but okay. I'm not exactly sure what that's trying to hint at. I think that's a bit too above my grade. Oh, Mark Blundell, surely. Yes. Derek Warwick. Stefan Johansson, maybe. Oh my god, I'm on a roll. Did Gaston Mazzacane? I'm just trying to think. Did Gaston Mazzacane really? I didn't realise he raced in kart. There must be someone desperate for money. That tends to be how it goes. Nicholas Chiesa, Justin Wilson, Jolt Baumgartner, Jean-Maria Bruni, Patrick Friesacker. I'm just naming all of the Minardi rejects. Robert Dornbos. Oh my god, he actually did. Christian Albers. Monteiro. Karthikeyan. Let's see. No, I think I'm getting too far now. Too far down the line. What am I thinking of in terms of drivers who raced in karts and Formula One? Was Roberto Guerrero still racing at this time? No. Because I know he did take part in Teo Fabi as well. I knew he took part in karts after his F1 career. Raul Berzel. Marcus Winkelhock, maybe? At least I'm getting somewhere. I can't think of who this Argentine driver is, by the way, and it's gonna get on my nerves when I find out who it is. As long as it's not someone too successful, I'll be fine. Is it Oscar Galvez? No, it's not. But yeah. If you can help me in the chat, that'll be massively helpful. I need to put Thomas Scheckter. I don't think Jody Scheckter did any races. He didn't. What about JJ Leto? Oh, JJ Leto did. Wendlinger. Bouillon. Lavaggi, I think, might have done. No, he didn't. Delatraz. Montermini. I'm just going through just any driver that I can think of. Eric Comas. Eric Bernard. Yannick Dalmas. Bertrand Gachot. Paul Belmondo. Philippe Adams. What about Jan? Jan Magnussen. Yes. Good point. Tony Kanaan raced in karts, but he didn't race in F1. His drivers who raced in F1 and karts, I should have said. It says at the top, but I don't think I scrolled all the way up before. Ivan Capelli. Mauricio Gugelmin. Stefano Modena. I don't think PK Junior might have done, but I don't think PK Senior did any IndyCar. I don't think he would have ever done any of that. Danny Sullivan, was he still kicking about? No, he wasn't. That's unfortunate. Like Kevin Cogan. I've only got 36 seconds. I don't think I'm going to get any more. I've had to put Lotterer. I didn't realise Lotterer. The other one was Ricardo Zanino. I did know him. Elito Salazar, Bobby Rahal. I could have thought about him. Max Papis, who did a lot of American racing. I should have known him. The others, I didn't know Timo Glock ever did one of those. That's interesting. Anyone but Nicholas Latifi. That's bright. Apparently, PK Senior did do IndyCar. I'm not sure. He might have done a test, but I'm not sure he actually did an actual race. Made his Formula 1 debut with Williams. Who made their F1 debut with Williams? Patrick Nev. Maybe not. Alan Jones didn't. Keke Rosberg didn't. Derek Daly might have done. No. Nigel Mansell didn't. PK didn't. Damon Hill did, though. What do you mean Damon Hill? No, he didn't make his debut with Williams. Of course he didn't. But David Coulthard did. Right, so there's two drivers before then. Jonathan Palmer. And think. Jean-Louis Schlesser? Yes. I I think he made a. I think he didn't qualify in '83 for a race, and then his first race was the '88 Monza race. Jacques Villeneuve. Then Button, Montoya, Rosberg, Nakajima, Maldonado, and Hulkenberg. Boldass, Stroll, Sirotkin, Russell, Aitken. Scored points in the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix. Hamilton, Ocon, Vettel, Alonso, Sainz, not Norris. I never put Norris. Leclerc, did he? Or was he taken out? He must have been taken out at the start. I've already put Stroll. Ricardo. He got other. He was in part of the other ones. Raikkonen. Gio. No. Schumacher didn't. Mazepin didn't, of course. What other teams existed? Gasly, Tsunoda. What other teams existed? I've already put Russell. I've already put Latifi because he's in the title of the quiz. Am I being stupid? I am being stupid. It's Verstappen. Use Mercedes engines in the 2022 Formula 1 season. So Hamilton, Russell, Stroll, Vettel, Hulkenberg, Ricardo, Norris. Who else used Mercedes engines? Oh, Nick de Vries. No, Alex Albon. That must mean De Vries did as well. But oh well. Drove an official Grand Prix session with Force India in the 2010s. Liuzzi, Sutil, Di Resta, Perez, and Alfonso Salas. Am I being stupid? The answer's probably yes. James Collado. I'm gonna leave. Got to focus on study, but I'm gonna leave the live open. Cool. Have a nice time. Drove an official Grand Prix session for forcing. Oh, Bianchi. Oh no, I don't want to open Microsoft Edge developer tools. Raced in Formula 3.5 series. Oh, I'm gonna be screwed by this. I don't actually know. I don't know Formula Renault 3.5 drivers. I'm gonna struggle. Wow. Magnussen, I know, did it. Who else would have done it? Petrov. No. Kvyat. No. Pick. Glock. Kovalainen, because he was a Renault guy back in the day. Clearly not. PK. Grosjean. Kobayashi. I'm just guessing drivers at this point. Lotterer. Ericsson. Mary. Okay, at least that's one. Rossi. Stevens. Oh my god. As if all of these random terrible drivers are just the answer to everything. Guido Heidel van der Halde, as Peter Brook says. Chandok. Oh, no way are these actually just full of the stinkers that clogged up the 2010s teams. Clean Yamamoto, because I know he did a couple of years of GP2 after his F1 stint. Albers. Davidson. Blemmy. Algiswari. Vern. Bourdais. Who else did Formula Renault 3.5? We've already said Sutil. Did Ede? I swear if Ede. No, it didn't. What about Montagny? Speed? Just trying to think of drivers that I haven't mentioned yet. Let me think. De Vries apparently did. No. Participated in the 2015 Florida Winter Tour Shifter ROK class. I don't fucking know. Mazepin. Schumacher. I'm guessing the newer drivers if you can't tell. Albon. Russell. Norris. Fittipaldi. Although he was probably still 28 when that happened as well. Nah, De Vries must not have done it. It's from 2005 until 2015 as well, so he wasn't really established in 2015. Van Dorn, that's one. That's the newest one, should I say. So I'm trying to think of other drivers that might have done. Bottas. Did I? No, I already put Bottas earlier on, so it's not going to be him. Jerome D'Ambrosio? That was a shout. Dornbos? Monteiro? Winkelhock? That's not Winkelhock. There's one driver from like the early 2010s that's eluded me. I'm trying to think which one it is. I've got time. I can get this. I've already got a pretty good score. Ow. I'm just kicking things inside this room. Who made it? Like, was there anyone who made like any one-off starts? Not really. There weren't really many one starters in their F1 career back in this sort of time frame. Felipe Nasr? That would have been a good guess. Verline? Haryanto? Petrov? I've already put Petrov, I think. Ooh, I can't think. I'm just gonna have to skip and give up. Brendan Hartley. That's the kind of driver I was thinking of, but I couldn't. Rubens Barrichello apparently participated in a karting race in 2015. Brilliant. And Kubica. I could have got Kubica. What I think I'll do is I'll move over to. I had another quiz. Not a quiz, but a more of a kind of an opinion-based thing lined up. So this is Formula One 2026 driver tier list maker. I've got 5 different categories here. Basically, S tier, but it's elite. A tier, which is very good. B tier, which is good. C tier, which is average, and D tier, which is mediocre. And I'm going to put each driver based on current form and overall ability, where I think they go in this tier list. So first up is Arvid Lindblad, the rookie, and one arguably the hardest driver to rank because he has nothing to base his former career off. For now, I think I'll just put him in good because although if we're doing it based on a driver's circumstances, he's in very good because he's had a very good start to the year, considering he's a rookie. But he's not completely destroyed Lawson. He was a bit off the pace, I believe, in China. And he's still got a long way to go. I think overall he is good though. Let me just get a drink. Yeah, sorry for that ASMR. I only realised halfway through that water is such a sensual thing. Colapinto next. For now, I think I'll put him in average because I don't think he's as bad as people say he is. But he had a really good showing in China that he never really got to actually complete. Next up is Gabi Bortoleto. I'm just gonna quickly go 2026 Formula One season because I want to just quickly do the standings and just check how he's doing compared to Hülkenberg. Okay, so he got the points in Australia, didn't start in China, and then 13th in. Yeah, okay, he's been good. I'll keep it at that. Lawson, I think, has been good as well. Not as good as what's his name? Lindblad. Actually, no, he has been better than Lindblad overall. Okay, no, I'll put him in good, but just ahead of Lindblad. Next up is Behrman. I'm going to put him in the very good category. I mean, obviously he had the crash in the last race in Suzuka, but he's still 7th in the championship. He's absolutely dunking on Ocon, 17-1 in the standings. And drove an amazing race in Australia, drove an amazing race in China, and couldn't get a good qualifying run in Suzuka, and the retirement was through something that wasn't his fault. So, I think that Behrman is very good. Hadjar, the thing is with Hadjar, he's clearly a lot closer to Max than any of Max's teammates ever have been, but I think he's just good for now. Is he just good for now, or is he very good? I think it's tough to know because we don't know where that Red Bull truly is. Max hasn't been able to exercise his full potential. I will go for. I'll put him in good tier, but ahead of these. I can tell that there's always going to be quite a few drivers in the good tier. Hülkenberg has been average. He's been average at best. I think he's finally fallen off the cliff in terms of performance. I think that, a couple of seasons ago, people used to say he was really good when he was actually only really good, 5 or 6 races a year. And now that's turned into, 2 or maybe only 1 or 2 good races a year. So yeah, that's what I'd say for Hülkenberg. I really don't. I think that now he's pushing 40. I think he has finally started to lose a bit of that edge and performance. Albon has been mediocre. People have historically praised him for doing nothing. They praised him for getting results that the Williams were supposed to get. And now, as soon as he's coming up against a good team, like a really solid teammate in Carlos Sainz, he looks average at best. And he's less than average at best. He's mediocre, at least this season. Next up is Kimi Antonelli. And towards the end of last season, he really started to mature and show some really good results. And now I think he's starting to come of age. Whether this is the thing, because he's in the best car, so therefore the lowest he should be finishing is P2 in a race anyway. Whether if you were to, for example, put Behrman in the same car, would he pull out the same results? Probably. But does he get praise just for winning? When he's in a car that should be winning, it's like with the other teams, like the midfield teams, like the one that Behrman's in, for example, at Haas, you can sort of gauge where they are a lot better because, like, his best result isn't first. Like, his best possible result isn't first. His best possible result is around like the top 5, the lower reaches of the points. Whereas with Antonelli, if he's not winning or second place, even if he's winning or second place, you can't really tell where he is on performance. The first half of the Hulk is losing too much speed and a lot of racecraft as well. Might be because of this stupid regs, which clearly dunks on his quality potential thing. The thing is, though, quality potential. Can anyone name one time he's actually put in a generational qualifying run since Canada 23, when he got on the front row? Can anyone name any? I can't name a single. I think he's just genuinely lost his overall pace. And yeah, Antonelli, I think he was quite a bit behind George in Australia, and obviously I don't think he'd have beaten George on pure merit if George had had no issues at all throughout the weekend. And obviously he finished 5th in the sprint. But Japan, he was flawless, pretty much. Even if he was a bit lucky with a strategy, Suzuka's a hard track to pass on, and I don't think that him not being able to get by the slower guys was any indictment on him. So I will say very good, but I wouldn't put him above Behrman. Stroll, this season, I mean, this is the hard part. We can't judge Stroll or Alonso based on the performances they had this season. And towards the end of last year, Stroll was actually okay, so I'll put him in average. I think he's a better driver than Hülkenberg. Yeah. Yeah, Ocon is next. This is the thing with Ocon. Ocon is like what Hülkenberg was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. A very good driver who would perform 6 races a year. And now, I mean, Japan was a pretty good performance. 10th place when his teammate got knocked out in Q1 and was never really in the contention. But when Behrman is the one consistently putting in fantastic performances, he's going to get shown up. And for that reason, I wouldn't call him mediocre. I don't think he's mediocre because he can pull out good performances. But I think he's definitely average at best. And I'll put him above Stroll, above Colapinto, and just leave him there at the top end of average. Pierre Gasly is very good. I would genuinely. I think if you were to put modern Pierre Gasly in a top car, whether it be a Ferrari, whether it be a Mercedes, whether it be a McLaren, I think he would hold his own. I don't think he'd beat the guys like Norris, Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, or Antonelli. Maybe Antonelli, but he would definitely hold his own and not look stupid. He would be kind of like Carlos Sainz in a way at Ferrari, because Sainz at times, like in individual races, looked stupid, like in wet races, for example. But he wasn't completely terrible. If I'm not wrong, the gap last year was around 0.187, and this year it's more. Between Gavi and Hülkenberg, it was very close between Gavi and Hülkenberg last year. I thought the average quality gap was within a tenth, and their race gap was ridiculously close as well. Next up is Sainz. Now, he is a very good driver. Again, because of the car he's in, we can't really see where he is in terms of performance because, well, he had a good result in China, I guess. But otherwise, he's not really been able to show his full potential. I do think he's very good. but I wouldn't be able to put him above Antonelli or Gasly just simply because his car hasn't shown the best of his potential. George Russell is an elite driver. Japan was a bit of an off day for him, but it wasn't really an off day because of anything he did. It was because of the strategy he was on. Sergio Perez, again, the Cadillac basically being a mediocre at best car has made both Perez and Bottas not really representative drivers. I think they're probably good drivers. They're probably in this tier, but we haven't been able to actually rank them. I do think that Bottas is better than Perez, just purely because of his qualifying prowess. I'll put them both at the end of the good tier. Leclerc is an elite talent. You see, I think the biggest debate in terms of like Formula One drivers and who's better than another, the biggest one of the lot I think is who is better out of Leclerc and Russell. Now, Leclerc is definitely better than he was, for example, in 2022, and I think he's definitely worked on the consistency that he struggled to have in previous years. And I do think that he can probably pull out more like elite level performances, like generational level performances than George Russell can. You very rarely see Russell dominate a weekend or dominate a race or put in a genuinely like, oh my god, performance. Whereas Leclerc does do that a lot more often. But also, I think Leclerc does still have off days. Like when we have had intermediate or changeable conditions, he's sort of nowhere. Like we saw with Bristol last year, we've seen many times. And we haven't had a wet race this year, so we haven't had a chance to see what he's like now. That's why I would rate Leclerc slightly below George, because I think George is more consistent, even if he doesn't reach those higher highs that Leclerc does. Leclerc reaches lower lows than he does. So I think that George is definitely better. Oscar, you see again, Oscar Piastri at the start of last year was an elite driver. He was fantastic, he was perfect, and he did basically extracted most of what he could from the car and very rarely made mistakes. But then towards the end of the season he fell off. On pure performance this season, he's probably creeping into elite tier. I think that Behrman and Gasly and co make errors occasionally. But whether Piastri keeps his form without falling off this year will be the question as to whether he stays in elite tier. Piastri has been stellar in qualifying. Had he not embarrassed himself in Australia, he would have been ahead of him in the points. Yeah, there was also a crash in Australia. I think actually no, with the crash in Australia, crashing before the race starts, he had to go in very good. Sorry, I forgot about that. Norris, I'm not sure if it's just me, but Norris, I mean, he had a great performance in Australia, but Suzuka, he was just nowhere. Or not nowhere, but anonymous is more what I was trying to get at. I think that what he may have done is, and I said this on the DRS Stream podcast recording that happened yesterday, that I'm not sure when it's going live, but I said that Norris might be doing what James Hunt did in the late 70s, which is winning his championship and then mentally checking out or feeling like he has nothing to prove, and therefore not performing to his very best. Because James Hunt could still perform like he still got wins after his championship, but generally you could see that he wasn't really pushing 100% all the time. And I think that might be the case with Norris as well, because he's got other passions, he's got other interests. So I think that it's very close between him, Behrman, Gasly, Antonelli. I'll probably... actually, I'm going to move Gasly above Behrman because I think he's slightly more consistent. I do think Behrman is faster, but I think Gasly is slightly more consistent. And I'll move Norris there. Alonso... See, people are still saying Alonso's top 5 drivers on the grid, and he's just not. Obviously, last year it was a lot easier to gauge where he was as a driver because the car was at least finishing races and somewhere in the ballpark of the others. But his gaps to Stroll, apart from 2023, have never been that special, in race trim especially. And he's been making more mistakes. And this year, I mean, the car is terrible, but I don't think he's like an average driver, but I would say that I'd probably go around about where Hajar is. I wouldn't put him in the very good tier anymore. I'll probably put him around where Hajar is. I'll probably move Bortoletto slightly up because Lindblad is a bit less consistent. Do you see Wood move Norris behind Behrman now? Sorry, let me just read from the start here. Would that be because of their style? Russell seems to be taking less risks, and usually when taking risks, he kind of misjudges it. Whereas Leclerc is often putting in performances like China and Melbourne. Yeah, but your style doesn't excuse the results and the results of that style. It's like I could say that because of Maldonado's style, he used to crash all the time, but that's just because of his style. And it's like, no, the style comes from a driver, not just the driver coming from a style, if you get me. Yeah. What was I going to say? There is then I was going to go would move Norris behind Behrman. The thing is, I do think Norris has because obviously when Norris is performing at his best, he is the best driver on the grid. The same with Behrman, I think, as well. I think Behrman in Mexico 25 was the best driver on the grid. But I do think that Behrman does have slightly more off days. And the thing is, Norris will have an off day where he crashes in qualifying or he makes a big mistake in the race. But Behrman will have those days where he is just off the pace, like we saw. I mean, I think that the Suzuka qualifying wasn't exactly a fully fair representation of his off days because apparently there was issues with the battery or something, or issues with the car. But I do think that generally Behrman has a tiny bit of inconsistency. Next up is Verstappen. You see, the thing is with Verstappen, I think that like Australia, very good result. China, he retired. I can't even, why did he retire in China? I can't actually remember. He retired in China with a cool. I don't even remember that. But he got knocked out in Q2 in Suzuka. I suppose he managed to get back past Hajar, and he's not doing a bad job. But I don't think Max is performing anywhere near his best because he doesn't like the regulations and because of the. See, he's been complaining and saying, "Oh, it's just Mario Kart. You boost past someone, and they just boost straight back past you." And it's like, well, then manage your battery better. Like everyone's in the same boat. You can say it's terrible and that everything's bad and horrible and all that sort of stuff, but everyone's in the same boat and they're performing better than you are. Like if he was destroying Hadjar, I would say okay, it's just the car and he's not really performing, but he's very close to him. And if he can't wrap his head around the regulations, it's his fault. It's like Raikkonen. Raikkonen was superb in the 2002 to 2009 cars, and then wasn't the best from 2012 onwards, and that's okay. Hamilton's had it where he's been not great in adapting, and so has other drivers. But if Verstappen can't adapt to battery management, then that's on him, not on anyone else, and not on the regulations. And the regulations don't have to improve to suit their best driver or the best driver on the grid in terms of normal regulation sets. Is the tier list based on recent performances or overall ability as per now? A bit of both. Is like what I think they can do if they reach their true potential, and what they're doing recently. I feel like Alonso just mentally checked himself out after this car. He might have done, but that doesn't give an excuse to not perform. There we go. Yeah, so I think it's actually a conversation as to whether Max is still the best driver on the grid. That's what my little point was. I'm not sure if he's still the best driver on the grid. Because recent results just don't show that. Like he's not dominating his teammates anymore, or his teammate anymore. He's not showing elite levels of performance in terms of like, oh my god, he's amazing. He just hasn't this season. So, does he really deserve to be the best driver on the grid still? I feel like that happens a lot with champions when they get used to winning in a certain set of regs. They just can't be bothered to adapt almost. I mean, it's not that they can't be bothered to adapt. It's just I think there are certain drivers who just can't adapt. Vettel was known for not being able to adapt to regulations that he didn't like. He was able to still put out consistent good seasons. He was still able to put out good seasons after 2013. It's just they came sparingly. And it's the same with Hamilton, where he's just up and down between seasons, depending on whether he likes the car. I don't think Verstappen. He's definitely not comfortably the best anymore. Whether he's behind Russell and Leclerc on current form, though, I don't know. Especially since he is complaining a lot more for no reason. Like, I'm sorry, he can say that he's like Mario Kart and whatever all he wants, but as I said, everyone is in the same boat. It's not just him. Yeah, I will. See, Russell and Leclerc are one of the same. If he's worse than Russell, he's worse than Leclerc as well. But if he's better than Leclerc, he's also better than Russell. I would say for today he is, but when considering only 2026 results, isn't only hard to gauge, but hard to make a point in keeping him as the best. You know what? I'm going to put him third, and that's going to be. I'm going to put this list on Twitter after the race, after this stream, and I'm going to get 200,000 views again, and then I'm going to have people saying, "Oh, why are you saying that Max isn't the best?" When last time it was, "Why aren't you saying Lewis is the best?" So that'll be quite funny. And Lewis, you see, his qualifying from memory hasn't been great. Yeah, he qualified 7th. Again, it's only a 10th off of Charles, but the gaps are so close nowadays that you have to drive pretty well. And you have to drive pretty much flawlessly in qualifying. He beat him in China. China's a good track for him. He lost out in the sprint now, and then out qualified him slightly in the race, and then beat him slightly as well. 2026 Japanese Grand Prix, and then qualified. So his qualifying form is good, but his race pace isn't quite there yet. So I'm gonna put him in very good. I think that he's probably about there. I feel like these regs have huge potential, but super clipping, especially in quali, needs to go. Right, you see, this is what I've been saying. There are ways to fix it. What they can do, and this is part of the reason. This is part of the reason. When these regs came in, the teams they all banded together and said, we don't want to. We don't mind regenerating energy under braking, so then we can save the batteries, but we don't want to do it on the front axle because Audi have experience with that in their endurance program, and the FIA said, okay, well, you guys can veto that because you're the established teams. But now I think that Behrman had his accident and it was caused by super clipping. And I think the FIA could use that as leverage and say, this is dangerous. We're going to reintroduce front axle brake regeneration, energy regeneration. So then batteries will take a lot less time to reach full charge. They will generally run out of battery less. They'll use the same amount of battery, but they'll have double the amount to deploy most of the time. So I think the FIA could genuinely say, we don't care what you think. You're the teams. We're the governing body. We govern. We don't give you loads of handouts. So yeah, I think that's what they should do. I think they should bring back front axle regeneration. And then teams will be like, oh, but Audi will basically turn into Brawn in 2009. It's like, no, they won't. They won't. They really won't. We need front axle regen and higher deployment in the race, though. I feel like super clipping is great at race because you're responsible for it, but qualifying is, yeah. Maybe, I don't know, 12 kilojoules regen in qualifying at front axle and 9 kilojoules in the race. Something like that, where we need it to work properly. Increasing the amount of, the maximum amount of power deployment in qualifying will just make the issue worse, by the way, of super clipping, because that the 12 kilojoule limit is not, I don't think it's not the battery capacity, it's the amount you can deploy at, it's the rate you can deploy at. So all that will do is it will mean that teams can deploy energy faster but not save as much. So it will just convert the same problems where they'll be able to deploy up until a certain point and then they'll just have no deployment. Yeah. So that's what I think my list is. I'm just going to check if there's anything that I think is wrong. I think this is fair. I think this is a fair list. If there's anything else you guys wanna say it, and then we can move back into the quiz stuff and just general chat, because I didn't really think of a topic for this stream, so that's kind of what we'll do. Is there anything you guys disagree with or whatever? I thought it'll make it better when regen the energy, not in qualifying. If you want to get rid of super clipping in qualifying, you need to reduce the power deployment limit, or increase the capacity. That's what you need to do, or increase the rate of regen, which is not by a rule change, but by by a rule change, not to the actual like deployment and whatever, but to the way the cars regen. Science for 2026 will be behind Lawson. I don't think so. Lawson has been good, but Sainz, I just don't think we've been able to see his true potential with the car he's in. I'll leave that there so we can get more opinions in, but we'll go back to these anyone but certain drivers. I like these. Started only one Grand Prix between 1980 and 2020. Tiff Needell, Miguel Angel Guerra. Who else started only one Grand Prix? Jack Aitken, Stefan Sarazan, Marcus Winkelhock, Marco Apicella, started so he can't be Vincenzo Sospiri. Who else is there? Are there like guys from the pre-qualifying era who qualified for one race despite entering loads of them? Potentially, that could be the case. I mean, 1994, Roland Ratzenberger. He only did one race before he passed away. I can't think of who else it could be. There could be Miguel Angel Guerra. After that, there was Schlesser. And then, so between 1988 and 1993, there was Julian Bailey, Michael Bartels. Not sure. Did Stoffel Van Dorn have lost potential, do you think? Always thought he was going to become a race winner. I think he did. I think his position was the main thing he was in. He was in Alonso. It was against Alonso at McLaren, and apparently there was not sabotage going on, but apparently Alonso was making sure he got the best parts. So there was no chance that Stoffel was ever going to really do well in that team. I think he could have, if he'd have gone to a different team for 2019 and tried to build back up his career, he could have done something, but he never had a chance to. Lotus Racing / Caterham driver. Oh, that's Kovalainen, Trulli, Chandhok, Petrov, Pick, Van der Gaard, Kobayashi, Ericsson, Stevens. User number 45 in an official Grand Prix session. Susie Wolf. Did she not? Sorry. So that must mean who did Roberto Merri use it in his one? He must have done. Yes. And then Alexander Rossi, because they were both Caterham drivers around that time. I mean, I'll just think of free practice drivers from around that time. Yamamoto, not Sakon, Naoki. Who else? Who else was around that time? That's why I said Susie Wolf, because she was quite prominent in that period. Ferus Forzi. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else. German driver in the 21st century. Oh, Schumacher. That's 3 of them. Frentzen, Heidfeld, Glock, Vettel, Sutil, Rosberg, Verline. Can't spell. Nice one. And who else was a German driver who debuted between Vettel and Hülkenberg? Behrman has to come down slightly for that crash. But it wasn't his fault. I don't see how that can affect his ability. It wasn't his fault. It was neither him or his or Colapinto's fault. Podium in Formula E. Oh, for goodness sake. Who's done well? Nick de Vries. Oh, yeah. When was this quiz made? So I need to know. 2022. So it's like, if I do the old guard of Formula E, because I remember watching it back in the day with my dad. So Buemi, Degrassi, Verne, Scott Speed, Pierre Gasly. I swear he got a podium in Formula E. Liuzzi, Trulli, Fisichella, which Formula One drivers went? Van Dorn. Did Grosjean race in Formula E at any point? No, he didn't. What about Magnussen? Formula Nippon / Super Formula drivers. I can do that one instead, maybe, of Formula E drivers, because it's easy. I can just choose the Japanese guys. That's why Jenson Button did Super Formula. I can just do Sato. Surely Sato did. Yeah, he did. Karthikeyan did. I know that much. Ide. Sakon Yamamoto I already talked about. Is this only... Yeah. Only Grand Prix drivers, not any other guys. Davidson? Anthony Davidson sounds like he'd be the kind of guy to do that sort of stuff. He's not, unfortunately. If Antonio Liuzzi did it, to be fair, anyone can. Coulthard. Webber. From 2003, Justin Wilson. Did Sonoda do any races? No. I've already put Kobayashi in, haven't I? Yeah, I have. PK Verne Massa is a good one. I don't think of Formula E podiums. I've already put... I didn't put PK, but I did put Verne. Who's that second guy? A really obscure, like, driver at the start of Formula E. It must have been... Oh, it was Heidfeld, that's why. No, not Heidfeld. Who am I thinking of? Guido van der Garde didn't. Charles Pic, I don't think, did. D'Ambrosio is who I'm thinking of. It's not the guy who I wanted, but it's close. Al-Jaswari might have done. I know he definitely raced in the series, but he clearly wasn't that good. Formula Nippon. Well, that's what's getting me. Are there any drivers who might have, like, from the 90s maybe? Like Katayama, Suzuki, those kind of guys, Nakano, Takagi. Yeah, those kind of guys. The guys who were getting, like, engine deals for their teams. Nakajima is a shout that I didn't think of. Let me have a think. They have to be. They have to be Formula One drivers, so it can't be. Probably can't be the Japanese guys now. Did Alex Albon? I don't think I can get any more, to be honest. Who's the one Grand Prix? I won't. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. Pierre-Henri Raphael. Ocon. I would have used that at Manor. That's fair enough. Montagny is yeah, I wouldn't have got that. Bruno Senna, Naoki Hattori and Hideki Noda. So they were Japanese drivers, they were just from the early 90s. I'm not exactly sure what that means, Saye. Possibly every team is the same speed. The team is just throwing spare water cooling and then one goes fast. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm not going to do Latifi again. Yuki Tsunoda, Japanese drivers. Here we go. Kazuyoshi Hoshino. Noritake Takahara. Masahiro Hosemi. What's his name? Something Fushida. He clearly didn't start a race. Takahashi. Nakajima. Suzuki. Inoue. Hattori. Okay, he didn't qualify for a race either. Katayama. Noda. Nakano. Takagi. Sato. Yamamoto. Japanese drivers. Who's between Sato and Ide? Nakajima, Kobayashi. Finished fourth at Yas Marina Circuit. I'm just going to do drivers who have done well there. Hamilton, Button, Alonso. Because there's no way I'm remembering every single fourth place finisher. Barrichello, Webber, Vettel, Kubica, Heidfeld, Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Rosberg. So that's 2009, that's 2010, 11, 12, 13 could have been Massa, Raikkonen, Grosjean, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, Perez, Ocon. But I'm just getting all the other drivers. I'm just getting all the other drivers from all the other categories. So I suppose I won't complain. Baldess. Yes. And then 2019 could have been... Not Hulkenberg. Let me just check. This is a 2019 quiz, isn't it? Finished fourth at Jasper, so it must be some skips somewhere in there. Russell. Albon. Okay, yeah, Albon. Directly promoted from Formula 2. Latifi. Nick De Vries never was. I don't know why I did that. Schumacher. Mazepin. Aitken technically was. Fittipaldi might have technically been as well. Who else? Norris. What am I thinking of? Zhou. There we go. Greatest driver continent you can think of. For example, in Asia, Vettel in Asia, etc. I can do it for individual tracks like Massa at Turkey, for example. I couldn't do it for continents because, like, you'd have to factor in someone's performances at the United States, Canada, and Mexican Grand Prix. You'd have to counter in someone's performances in Brazil and Argentina, or in Kyalami, or combining all of the European tracks would be basically impossible. So I don't think I could do that. But it's a good idea, but for like individual tracks, like who's the best driver at every single F1 track, that could be a good video idea. But I don't think I could do that for every single possible thingy, if you get what I mean. Best rookie in WDC. Raikkonen. Was he not the best rookie in 2001? Oh no, it was Montoya. Massa 2003 would have been Justin Wilson. 2003. Who else debuted that year? D'Amata. 2004 would have been Glock. Kubica, Hamilton. Kubica was better than Rosberg in 2006, which is what surprises me. 2005 could have been Karthikeyan or Montero. Oh my god, it actually was Montero. That's awful. Let me think of the other guys. So 2015 is Verstappen. 2016 must be Verline. 2013 might be Gutierrez. There's a bit of a range of talent in these. You could say 2008. Who was the best? Who was a rookie in 2008? I'm not sure if anyone was. 2009 was Algeswari. Buemi. 2010 must have been Hulkenberg. Really? Who else was a debutant in 2010? Petrov can't have scored more points than. Actually, no, he could have because he was in a Renault. That's why. De Resta. Can you recommend a good F1 podcast? Beyond the Grid is quite good. What else is there? Yeah, no, Beyond the Grid is very good. I think you should watch that. Wait, was there actually a rookie on the grid in 2008? I can't think of one. Oh, PK. I can't think of 2004. Baumgartner. Why am I being stupid? I feel like Max better than the European sort of classic Monza to Monaco, but yeah. I know, Nav, I was being sarcastic. Of course, I didn't actually mean for you to go and watch Beyond the Grid. Of course, I meant for you to go and watch the Crash Happy podcast with Dan No Skill. Who was the best rookie in 2016? Sorry, 2017. 2016 as well, I need, but no way Jolyon Palmer was the best rookie. Oh my god. Ocon. How was Ocon not? Oh no, because he wasn't a rookie in 2017 technically. Stroll was though. Best rookie in 2014 was not Bianchi. Magnussen. You can see the stark fall off in drivers. What is a single greatest driver track combo? For example, Vettel India. I think it has to be Monaco Graham Hill. That's an option. Monaco Graham Hill. Fangio Buenos Aires. I'm trying to think of other ones. I can't think of other ones. Yeah, I'm not really. I don't think I could. I have to think about it, to be honest. 2000. Who was a rookie in 2004? So I've already put Glock. I've already put Baumgartner. It wasn't Pantano because he didn't get any points. Neither Bruni. Clean. Yes. I think best rookie, by the way, is just based on points because Petrov was over Hulkenberg in 2010. You can see there's a lot of drivers who probably don't. Thiago Montero in 2005, for example. F1, anyone but Stefan Sarazan, Minardi driver in the 1990s. Perez, Salah. He wasn't. Okay, what about Paolo Barilla? Pierluigi Martini. Nicola Larini. No, let's go from the back. Tuedo, Nakano. Who was 1999? Janae, Badwer, Alboreto, Cesares. The Cesares never drove for Minardi. I'm surprised at that. Marquez, Lavaggi. Who was 1997 Minardi drivers? Lamy, I think might have done at some point. He did. Zanardi. And I've just accidentally gone full screen mode again. Who was Minardi drivers? I'm just gonna go for random Italians and hope they're correct. Barbazza, Fittipaldi. Dan Nuskin is the mother of Fernando Alonso's newborn. Apparently, is that what he's going with? Who were the Minardi drivers in 1997? They were so forgettable, whoever they were. No, one of them was Fisichella, I think. Trulli might have been in there somewhere. He was. Minardi drivers in the early 90s. That's not actually that. Let's go. Participated in the 2016 WEC season. Pedro Lamy and Shinji Nakano were racing as late as 2016. Jesus Christ. I mean, fair enough, but still. I'm just gonna go with like reject F1 drivers from around that time and hope they're all there. Mary. Oh my god, they actually are. Rossi, never mind. Then Hulkenberg, did he ever do any? No. I know Gasly did some Super Formula. I was wondering if he'd done some GT racing or some endurance racing as well. Glock. No. Pick. No. Kovalainen. Della Rosa. I'd say he was about 50 million years old. Guido van der Garde. Kobayashi. Was McNish still going? No. Bourdais. Nakajima. What is the single greatest back marker season ever? Like true back marker. Fisichella Jordan 2003, just because of the win. Or do you mean by like driver performance over the entire year? It could be one of Russell's seasons. I'd have to actually have a look at that. That's a very good. That's a good video idea. Actually, what was the best? Who was the best back marker driver ever, or the best back marker season? That's a very good idea. I'll probably go for that. Thank you for the idea. I won't credit you. French F1. Oh, I can do French F1 drivers easy. Comas, Prost, Bernard, and Nav's gonna kill all my pronunciations. Who else is there? Jean-Marc Gounod, Jean-Christophe Bouillon. Who else? Paul Belmondo. I just try and sound unbothered while pronouncing the names. Olivier Grouillard. Sébastien Bourdais. Romain Grosjean. Franck Montagny. How do you think Valentino Rossi would have done if he actually got the Ferrari seat? He would have done alright. I think he would have probably been able to sustain himself in the midfield for a couple of years. I think that's about it, though. Yeah, I don't think he would have done more than that. Olivier Panis. Who was around in F1 at the time? Around the mid-1990s and making debuts, nonetheless, in the 1990s. Is Delatraz? No, I thought he was Swiss. Frank Lagorce. I always forget him. Alesi. Yep, I forgot about him. I thought he made his debut in 1989, to be fair, so I wouldn't have ever put him. Gachot technically raced under the French flag for a couple of years, I think. So he's one. There's two more, and I don't know who they are. I'm gonna go born in 1974. So I'm just gonna guess drivers who debuted in the mid to late 90s. Sospiri, Rosset, so John Trulli and Mark Genesi. So yeah, debuted around the mid to late 90s. I've already done guys like Nakano. Tuedo definitely wasn't because he was really young. Bedoya. Zanardi. No. If I could spell his name, that'd be helpful. Scored a podium in the 2015-16 Formula E season. What? This isn't about F1 knowledge, it's about Formula E knowledge, I swear. There we go. Buemi. Actually, to be fair, knowing your Formula E means you know your WEC as well, because they're more or less the same drivers. PK. Who else was around in 2015-16? Massa. Scott Speed. Started 11th in the 2011 Armour All Gold Coast 600. Is that V8 Supercars or is that NASCAR? Because I don't remember Sebastian Bourdais ever doing a NASCAR. I'm just going to Google Sebastian Bourdais and see what race that is. Sebastian Bourdais. What is that? Is it? Oh, let me have a look. Yep, it's V8 supercars. There is no way I'm getting this. Who would have tried? Odds on Ollie Bevan becoming world champion before Leclerc. Pretty high. Started in the 2011. I'm not going to have any chance of getting F1 drivers. Look, I'm going to have a look at them and see what they were. And see what they were and see if any of them surprised me. Liuzzi. I'm not going to put these in. Emanuele Pirro. The guy was like 80 million years old. He was pushing 50. Gianni Morbidelli. Who else? Christian Klein. Jan Magnussen. Fabrizio Giovanardi. He was like a Formula 3000 driver from back in the 90s. Yeah. He was... Pagina, yeah. Gil de Ferran. Yeah, okay. But I'm not going to put any of those down because that's cheating. Still. Brendan Hartley. Oh, yeah, he was an endurance driver, wasn't he? Sutil, was he still racing around? No, he wasn't. Minardi driver in the 1990s. Morbidelli. I've just realised he was in there as well. What a shame. I genuinely didn't. I've just realised I genuinely didn't just put him in because he was in the other one. Norberto Fontana for the. Oh, that would have been a good one. Sciattarella. Ratzenberger. Inoue. Noda. I don't know. I'm just gonna. Moreno I could have got. Katayama I could have got. Davidson Heidfeld. Yeah, there's some I could have got there. Sergei Sorokin. Lance Stroll teammates. Lance Stroll teammates were Massa, Perez, Hülkenberg, Vettel, and De Resta. 2017 Formula 2 participants who competed in F1. Norris, Russell, not Russell, Albon, Latifi, De Vries. Too early. Roberto Meri. And who else? I can't think of anyone else who might have taken place in F2. Yeah. Who also competed in F1. Oh, Jack Aitken. Or Pietro Fittipaldi. No. Williams Grand Prix debutant. We've already had this in another one, didn't we? So I should be able to get this. Schlesser. Who was the first one? The first one was Palmer. The next one was Coulthard. Villeneuve. Button. Montoya. Rosberg. Maldonado. Nakajima. Badass. And Stroll. Russian F1 drivers: Petrov, Mazepin, and Kvyat. Scored exactly 1 WDC point, excluding Indy 500. Okay, right. Baumgartner. This is exactly 1 career point. Bailey. Not Larini. Who scored only 1 career point? I'm trying to think drivers from the Chico Landi. No, that's Silva Ramos. No. That's a very hard question. Competed in between. I can't be arsed with Le Mans. Can I just not? Yeah, I'm going to give up. Yeah, all those drivers, good for them, but I'm not doing that. I've already done that. Gaston Massacane. Carlos Sainz, let's do him. Vern. Ricciardo. Bourdais. Speed. Not Vettel. Buemi. Alguersuari. Kvyat. Verstappen. Gasly. Hartley. Who else? Gasly, Hartley. Oh, Albon. Points finisher for 2017 Singapore Grand Prix. Hamilton. Bottas. Ricardo. Oh no, I already put him. Perez. Ocon. Hulkenberg. Palmer. Magnussen. Grosjean. I'm just getting loads of ones for other categories again. Not Verline, not Ericsson. Saints. Already put him. Why did I put? He's the title of the thing again. Why did Vern not get a Red Bull seat even though he was better than Kvyat and Ricciardo? Because they deemed him too mentally weak to drive for Red Bull. So I don't know why they kept him in the Toro Rosso seat if they didn't think he was mentally good enough for Red Bull. But yeah, that's kind of a reason that happened. Alonso and Button, not Alonso, not Button. I meant Van Dorn. There you go. Massa. Stroll, there we go. Spanish driver with more than 5 Grand Prix starts. Alfonso de Potago. Paco Godia. Alex Soler-Huig. Luis Perez Sala. Adrian Campos. Emilio Diabilota. Did he really not get enough start? Okay. Roberto Meri. I've already got Fernando Alonso. Marc Genet. And I'm trying to think what order that's in. That's in order of starts, isn't it? Della Rosa. Started at least 10 Grand Prix of Renault. Arnoux. Chiva. Did Strafe? No, he didn't. Warwick did. Eno might have done. Tombe. Prost. Jabouille. Jarrier. No. Button. Trulli. Fissy. Villeneuve. Oh, he's not at least 10. Never mind. Kovalainen. PK. Kubica, Petrov. Senna didn't. Heidfeld might have done that. Yeah. Crazy about Alonso's last win was the day United lifted their last league title. Yeah. As someone who's a casual football fan, yeah, definitely I understand what you're saying. Is Aston Martin a failed project? Not yet. I mean, it's still got podiums in 23, but it's still got potential. It's got new... Like, it is basically the Chinese Super League or the Saudi League of F1 teams. Like, loads of potential, loads of money, investment, and people who know what they're doing. It's just they can't all come together and do something. Or maybe the PSG, should I say, of F1 teams. First Grand Prix win was at Silverstone. Gonzalez, Farina. So that's two of them. Who else got their first win at Silverstone? Sainz did, obviously. Who got their first win at Silverstone? Wasn't Sterling Moss? Peter Collins? That is it. Was anyone who got their only win at Silverstone? That could help. I don't think there is. Johnny Herbert. So it's between 1951 and 1995. Good luck, I'm not doing that just yet. Teammates are Nico Hulkenberg, Barrichello, De Resta, and Gutierrez. So I can do this. So who won the British Grand Prix around that time? And it was the Silverstone race, not Brands Hatch or Aintree. Let me have a think. Tony Brooks. I'm just going to keep putting drivers down until I get it eventually. Graham Hill. Actually, no, he never even got on the podium at Silverstone. Never mind. Yeah, win. John Surtees. Denny Hulme. Jack Brabham. Who won? I'm genuinely trying to think who won the British Grand Prix. Stewart. Peterson. Spinella. I don't think that's going to help me with the first Grand Prix win at Silverstone because it's not De Cesaris or Brambilla. Who else could it be? Should I go and have a look through the British Grand Prix winners? British Grand Prix. And see if I can get it just from the winners list. Right, winners. Ascari won his first race in 1951, so it's not him. Sterling Moss, it's not him because it's Aintree. Silverstone, not Fangio, it's not Collins. It's not Jack Brabham. It's not Jim Clark. It's not Jim Clark again. It's not Jim Clark again. It's not Jackie Stewart because I've already put him. Oh, it's not. It can't be Peter Revson, surely. Peter Revson got 2 wins, and the other one was in 1972, I believe. Oh no, it was Peter Revson. Never mind. I'm not going to complete the quiz. I know what the answer is, but I'm not going to complete it. It's Peter Revson. Never mind. Stoffel Van Dorn. Belgians with 10 or more Grand Prix starts. Ix, Boutsen, Gasho, D'Ambrosio, Frère, Jean de Bion, Merès, Pilette. Maybe not Pilette, but Bianchi. already put Stoffel Van Dorn is already a thing. Who else can I think of? The problem is that the problem. Aston Martin just aren't given their resources, and it's kind of hard to get why. They sort of just copy other teams. The problem for them is Cadillac can only get the problem for Cadillac is can only really get better. Who do you think the most dominant car ever built relative to the field? It has to be the 1952 Ferrari. That thing was a joke. I'm trying to think of drivers who is the third best starter of Belgium. I can't figure out. I just got a phone buzz. Never mind. Stop inventing. McLaren driver from the 2010s. Button, Hamilton, Perez, Magnussen. The immediate fall off of drivers. Alonso. Norris. Sainz. Made F1 debut in Bahrain. Rosberg. Speed. No, who else made their debut in 2006? Ide. Hülkenberg. Degrassi. Chandok. Senna. Who else made their debut in 2010? Petrov. We already talked about him. There wouldn't have been anyone from like Joe. Schumacher. Mazepin. Aitken. Fittipaldi. Tsunoda. Participated in the 2014 GP2 series. Palmer. Nasser. Mary. Stevens. Rossi. Verline. Haryanto. Gasly. Sainz. No. Van Dorn. I like how you guys are just debating in the comments and I'm just trying to look and see what's going on. Competed in the 2019 Formula E season. Verne. Buemi. Degrassi I've already put. 2019-20. I can't think of anyone. Started 7th at the Malaysian. That's such a random stat. Eddie Irvine. I don't know why I just got him instantly. Villeneuve. Hakkinen. Coulthard. Raikkonen. Heidfeld. Kubica or Kubica. I don't know why I turned into James Allen. Sarlo. Frenson. Hill. Panis. Who else existed in 1999? Herbert. Barrichello. Vettel. Weber. Kovalainen. Trulli. Fisichella. Massa. GP2 champions. Oh, this is easy. Maldonado. Pantano. Glock. Grosjean. Oh, I've done it again. Schumacher. Who started 7th at the Malaysian Grand Prix? Montoya, maybe. Zonta. Who was quick in 1999? That's what I'm trying to think of. So you had McLaren, you had Ferrari, you had Jordan, you had Stewart. I've already put those drivers down. You had Verstappen. I'm trying to think. That's 2008, so it must be 2007. Wirtz? Okay, Wirtz, I got him. Right, now I'm looking for 2007. Who was quick around that time? Forcing or Spiker and not them. Toyota, I've already put Schumacher down, so it can't be him. What about Belgian drivers? Poel, Eric van der Poel. No. I'm trying to think. So it's a driver who has at least more than like 20 starts that I just haven't thought of. It's not Stoffel Van Dorn, as the title suggests. It could be some driver from like the 70s or the 80s that I just can't think of right now. I might just quit that one. Johnny Clays. There's no way he had that many stars. Brendan Hartley and Andre Lotterer I could have got. It's Christian Klein I would have never got. It would have taken ages to get him, and Nicholas Latifi. Okay. I don't even know what you guys are arguing about now, but it's quite funny. Oh, I can follow playlists. I didn't realise I could do that. That's quite cool. Already done Sergei Sorokin. Already done Stefan Sarazan. Ayrton Senna, that's bright. Won at least 3 WDC titles. Fangio, Prost, Vettel, Hamilton, Brabham. I don't know why. Hamilton, Brab. Ham. Lauda. Piquet. Schumacher. Stewart. Had a DNQ in 1984. Pierluigi Martini. Stefan Johansson. Piercarlo Ginzani. Teo and Corrado Fabi. Maybe not. Stefan Beloff. Martin Brundle. Who were the random Italian drivers that people used to always drive for? Strafe. Eno. Warwick. Earned a podium finish in 1990. Berger. Nannini. Creaky chair. Another creaky chair. Nannini. And Lacey. Creaky chair. Capelli. Gajelman. Modena. No, Moreno. Who got some rogue podiums in 1990? Oh, I've just forgotten the Williams duo. And Mansell. Who else was there? Who got a podium in 1990? Suzuki. McLaren driver. Hakkinen. Andretti. Alio. Blundell. Coulthard. Hakkinen. Not Hakkinen. Creaky chair again. Who doesn't love a creaky chair? Me, because it's driving my fucking nut in at the moment. Who? McLaren driver in that. Who was Nigel Mansell's? Oh, Magnussen. I like how there is just a separate conversation going on in the comment section. I've asked you guys multiple times what you're arguing about, and I haven't got a response yet. That's quite funny. Started the season with 4 consecutive wins. Who would have done that? Jim Clark, Michael Schumacher, and Alonso never did. I don't think. No. Raikkonen might have done. No, he didn't. Button. Vettel. Rosberg. Won the Macau Grand Prix. Ooh, Russell. Norris. Albon. Leclerc. See, I know Dan Tickton won it, but he's not an F1 driver, so it doesn't count. Which doesn't help me. Who? Oh, Mike Fatquell didn't qualify in 1985. I was about to say, where did he come on there? Finished the 1993 European Grand Prix. Prost, Hill, Irvine, Comas, Bernard, Gasho, Martini, Alboreto, De Chiseries, Vendlinger, Frentzen, Lamy, Barbazza, Fittipaldi, Warwick, Blundell. Started a Grand Prix with Tolman, Johnny Cicotto. Brian Henton. And I can't remember who else would have started a Grand Prix for them. Winkelhock, Mass, Stuck, race between 1 and 800 and 500 kilometers of a 1994 Formula 1 season. That's such a random statistic. Sciattarella. Ratzenberger. Sneeze. That's not one of my answers. Gunon. Philippe Adams. No doubt. In no way. Katayama. Leto. Verstappen. Alio. Delatraz. Lagos. Who finished? I've just realised who finished third in or fourth in Europe 1993. Suzuki. Which other drivers existed in that point at that point in time? Naspetti. I'm not sure. Sarlo, Damas, I could have got those guys. Should I go through some of my... You know how I usually go through some of my YouTube videos? I think I've uploaded... since the last time I did one of these live streams. I did... what I did a kart race. I did. I haven't uploaded it. This is a different kart race. One of them has terrible audio. The other one, they both have a terrible camera angle, and one of them has a terrible audio. So unfortunately, we can't. I don't think that's good viewing purposes. But what I think is good viewing purposes is a hot lap video that I did of Sonoma County, California, in a NASCAR. So this is me doing a hot lap. I'm gonna explain to you a hot lap in a NASCAR, and I love NASCAR racing for one exact reason, and it's their creative interpretation of track limits. Now, you would have probably seen drivers going wide at turn wide at turn 1 in Watkins Glen is the famous one on road courses. But I will show you all an amazing little hot lap that I put together. Turn 1 in a way is like it is in a way like turns 1, 2, 3 at China. It's winding. This bit is flat out, but you have to make sure that you set yourself up right for the uphill to turn 2. And what you want to do, there is this little piece, there's this little wall and tyre barrier here. You want to get yourself right up onto this this bit of concrete on the inside, or this bit of tarmac on the inside here. Even if you go across, to extend the track as far as you can, and obviously you can see it kind of closes off here, but you can go all over it. Curb. First, if you need, because I think I downshift to first because I needed just the extra slow, the extra rotation. I come and then turn 2. You want to brake right as that curb finishes, and then swing. You want to get to the apex of this corner. You want to get to the apex of this left-hander. And then, just as you get the car straight, pin the throttle. And then make sure you don't lose the back end over this hill, because obviously you're going over the top of a hill while turning. And then you want to, as soon as you get your car planted, go flat out. The track is there, but you can do this. There's me, brake, sand, onto the very close to it. I think I might have even hit that wall. I did hit that wall, but it doesn't really affect your speed on road courses, so it doesn't really. Right-hander. You want to brake just before. Use the engine braking to. I missed the apex very slightly, but the rest of the lap. Swing it with RVSs and swing the car to the right. So it's part of the I struggle the most at speed right, but then is you're coming up to a right-hander, swing it all the way to over here, avoid that barrier on the inside, but you make sure that you get back, and it basically gives you all the road on, and you come down.
That was a great lap.
It was a great lap. That was my lap of Sonoma County. I've just realised I had my camera zoomed in quite a far way then, so I will just quickly fix that so that you guys can see properly. There we go. You should be able to see that, including my YouTube recommended, which is... There we go. So that was my lap of Sonoma County, California. Is there another? I think I did another lap that was a very similar lap time, but yeah, I thought I uploaded my my recent league racing win that I got at Kansas Speedway, but clearly not. As I said, I don't think this overlap was as impressive, if I remember. Even though it was the same lap time, it wasn't as.
Fast lap right there.
Some corners. Yep. What else have we got? I don't think I have any of it. Unfortunately, I haven't uploaded much content, unlisted content, in a while. What else have we got? Yeah, I don't think I've uploaded much else, which is unfortunate. There is I'm doing a project for my university. I have a university module where we have to well, I'm going to make a documentary. I'm going to make a 50-minute documentary about a racing driver, and I got Chizzy, to one of the guys on the DRS Train podcast, to record a interview of me. I haven't included that in this little snippet, but it's talking. The documentary is essentially biographing the career of a driver of essentially who could have been the first ever Hungarian Formula One driver. Basically, a couple of about nearly a year ago now, I think I became interested in the world of Formula Easter and racing behind the Iron Curtain in the 1970s and 80s. And this guy was one of those racers, and he actually made it in Western European racing. I could just show you all this.
Hey, so me and the girls went racing today. It was so much fun. We were like...
Why is it not letting me?
He's in a pod. Holly Doyle rides and she's in great form. The only danger is gone in 60
Second, then first. We thought it had lost.
But we won! What a day!
5 million memories made every year. The going is good. Search horse racing near me.
For the third time.
The year is 1988. The date is June 24th. Here's my video. We'll skip to the start again. Let's listen to this.
For the third time.
The year is 1988. The date is June 24th. It's the week after the Detroit Grand Prix, and the world of Formula One is in the midst of its greatest ever rivalry between the legendary duo of Ayrton Senna and his fiercest competitor, Alain Prost.
The surface was breaking up after 20 laps.
Didn't want him sitting close to him. He just
Showing his extreme penchant for street circuits, it was Senna who won on the tight Michigan layout. A lap clear of the entire field, bar Prost, who himself was more than half a minute adrift.
Ayrton Senna.
Made a fabulous start.
Together at the dominant Marlboro McLaren team, these two drivers have both worked their way up the feeder series ladder and through several other teams to reach where they are now, fighting for superstardom on the most iconic racetracks in the world. However, while these two are busy soaking in the limelight, many young prospects across the world's plethora of junior categories are fighting for recognition, victories and trophies, trying to secure the ever-looming chance to race at the top level of motorsport alongside the very best. From the tall skyline of Motor City, which echoed with the sound of jet-propelled, turbocharged monsters, on that fateful June day, there was a racing venue that had fallen completely silent. The eerie backdrop that drowned out the noise over the historic Nürburgring circuit in Nuremberg, Germany, and the events that transpired shook the surrounding community to its core and irrevocably stunted the motorsport aspirations of an entire country. Yet today, nearly 40 years on, only a small number of people know anything about what happened to a pioneer in his home nation. And this story of a sportsperson traversing Cold War politics, a beacon of strength for those suffering under the oversight of communist rule, is a tale of tribulations, triumph and tragedy in the highest magnitudes of all. Let me tell you the story of Keshar Shaba, Eastern Europe's lost Formula One prodigy. That's the first 2 minutes that we had to submit for our project. When that is eventually fully done by May time, I will post it on YouTube as well. But yeah, that's that. As I haven't posted much other content, there was a commentary that I did. This is like an F1. I think it was an F123. I do a lot of league racing. I used to do a lot of league racing commentary, and this was one of those things. I don't know when it was recorded, but it wasn't. It was posted earlier this March. But I did it way before then. It was just on my computer, and I needed to put it somewhere. So I put it on my YouTube. Yeah. So. Unfortunately, we have no more amazing karting content for me to show you guys. I have other stuff that I have made, but I haven't managed to upload it. I hadn't seen this tab before. Content detection. I assume that's for when people steal your shit, essentially. Let me go back to some of these quizzes. After this, I'll probably have to go because I have a league race to practice for. I'll probably do one more of these and then I'll probably go. So if you've got any questions for me, make sure you say them now or forever hold your peace. If I could not get a repeat. This is a shuffle apparently, and I'm getting the same 4 quizzes. There we go. Takuma Sato. Indianapolis 500 winners who have been in Formula One. Fittipaldi. Teo Farby. He didn't win one. Jackie Stewart. Ray Hall. Unser. Donahue. Andretti. Nope. Obviously Sato is one. Montoya. Villeneuve. Zanardi. Um. Um. Giancarlo Fisichella teammates. Giancarlo Fisichella teammate. He was teammates with Raikkonen. He was teammates with Sutil. He was teammates with Kovalainen. Alonso. He was teammates with Massa and Frentzen, I think. Furman, Baumgartner, Button, Wirtz, Trulli, Marquez, Lavaggi, who was his teammates at Minardi? Doa? Montermini. Japanese F1 driver with 3+ starts. Haseimi. Nakajima. Sonoda. Is this an order? Yeah, this is an order of starts, clearly. Kobayashi. Suzuki. Ide. Hattori. Noda. Katayama. Is it actually Katayama? Yeah, it is. Takagi. Nakano. That totally wasn't a yawn, I promise. Grand Prix podium at the IMS Speedway. Schumacher, Montero, Barrichello, Montoya, Hakkinen, Coulthard, Irvine's probably not going to be on here, he isn't. But at least they gave it a go. Hamilton, Heidfeld, Kubica, Fisichella, drove for Dale Coyne. Oh, I don't know, and I don't care. Grosjean. Participated in Formula E's first ever race. PK. Verne. Buemi. Degrassi. Lotterer. Yamamoto, Chantok, Senna, Prost. I forgot that he didn't actually race. Pick. Trulli. Let's see. Japanese F1 driver with more than 3 stars, but it's like not a very big amount at all. Creaky chair. Greek. I can't think of any more. I genuinely can't think of any more. 51 out of 70. What's my best score? 51% is. I've gone a lot better than 51%. To be fair to me. Bourdais, did he ever win there? He didn't, but he did drive for Dale Coyne. Who's won Indy since thingy? Who's actually been really good in IndyCar? Danny Sullivan. Okay. Who won it in around 1996 who could have got to F1? Or did get to F1? Burzel? Oh, Ericsson is one of them. Can't remember who Giancarlo Fisichella's first team. Oh, Pedro Lamy. I was thinking of Eddie Cheever, but I didn't think he'd actually won one. And Alex Rossi, I should have got. Maraboldi, Esteban Gutierrez. Okay, I wouldn't have got most of those. I think, guys, that is going to do it. I am tired. And, yeah, I'm literally the most relaxed person in human history. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's stream. I hope you enjoyed it. If you, as I say, if you have any more questions to ask me, please oblige, and I will answer them. But I think for now, I am. Peter Brook got cooked when speaking about the champions. I haven't seen many of his recent videos, or any of his recent videos. They haven't been popping up in my recommended. Yeah, I've been doing other stuff, like university. Interesting Ferrari driver ranking too. This is what people don't know. Before Peter Brook came out with that video, I had the exact same video idea in the works. I had the exact same video idea planned. I just never got around. I had the list of drivers. I just never got around to making it. You can see if I go into my notes app on my phone, my notes app has from the I'm not sure if you can see this properly. From the 16th of September 2025, I had the I can't keep it. I had a full-on like ranking every Ferrari driver video planned, but I never got around to doing it. I even had a full-on a script lined up, part of a script lined up, and I just never got around to completing the video. But yeah, I guess you win some, you lose. There's been quite a few video ideas that people have got around to doing before I did. So if I did it, it'd look like copying or it'd look like whatever. So that's quite funny. I'm sure Peter wouldn't mind, but it's just the idea of people would look at it and go, "Yeah, he's copying him," even though I'm not, or I wouldn't be. Yeah. So yeah, I think that will do it for this stream. Yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day. But I think that means that I'm gonna go and do a league race. I actually do stream my league races on Twitch. I don't really promote them because gaming isn't really my forte. I'm good at it, but I'm not like elite level at it compared to my YouTube stuff. So I guess if you want to watch it, my Twitch is twitch.tv/Nedzo. Literally just Nedzo, not Nedzo's F1 Gridbox. And I do a lot of streaming over there of league races, F1 and NASCAR. So if you guys want to follow that, you can. If you don't, then don't, I guess. But yeah, I'll see you all later. I'm Nedzo. I'll see you all later. Bye!